Hi, in this video, I'll be talking about social connection during and after breast cancer. Why is social connection so important, and what are some strategies you can partake in to feel more connected? Well, you may have heard that we have an epidemic of loneliness, not just in the US, but throughout the world. The Surgeon General recently issued a report that loneliness is a public health problem. We know that feeling connected to one or more people in our lives improves our quality of life and improves our health outcomes. What happens during breast cancer? Well, our social connections can fall away. People we thought were our friends, our partners, our parents, our children may actually not come closer to us, but they may seem further apart from us. It also can be very isolating to go through breast cancer and its treatment because people don't know how you feel. As much as they can imagine it, as much as they say, I know how you feel, they don't really. And frankly, even somebody who's been through breast cancer is not the same as you. We each have our different stories. So it would be like saying, because one person had breast cancer, they know what you're going through. Because I'm a mother, I know what every mother has gone through. Or because I'm a doctor, I know what every doctor experiences. We each have our unique story. Nonetheless, finding people where you feel you can trust them to talk about what you're going through, people with whom you can express your needs and hope to have your needs met, is so important, not just during breast cancer treatment, but afterwards. If you've had an upheaval in your relationships, you may find that you need to form new social connections. So I thought I'd talk a moment about ways that you can do that. Number one, forgive yourself for anything you perceive you may have done wrong to push people away. Don't feel, well, you could feel any way you want, but it's not the case that you've done anything to drive people away or to create a distance that wasn't there before. Cancer scares people, and when they don't know what to say, they often say nothing at all. And because they feel they don't know what to say, they can put some distance between you and them, between your former life and your present life. So it's really important to be tender with yourself and to realize that these things happen. I would also encourage you to forgive other people. They have their own needs to feel safe, needs to feel skilled, and they may not be skilled at getting those needs met. So if they feel they need to have the exact right thing to say to be your friend, and they don't know the exact right thing to say, they are unskillfully meeting their need to feel skilled. I know it sounds a little backwards. If somebody feels the need to feel safe, and that means they aren't being around you because they're worried, it reminds them they could get cancer or that they did have cancer, they lost somebody to cancer, their need to feel safe, they're not meeting it skillfully. So if it's possible, try to forgive people for their unskilled way of meeting their needs. The next thing to do is to start to think about what you really need. What kind of people do you want to be around? Do you need to be around people who will let you cry? Do you need to be around people who will make you laugh? Do you need to be around people who can let you cry and make you laugh? So figure out exactly what you're looking for. Then the next thing is to get creative. Make a list, brainstorm about places you can meet people. And one thing we know is that doing something for somebody else actually means more to us than doing something for ourselves or getting something for ourselves. So I know it sounds really strange when you're hurting to think about going and do something nice for other people, but the science actually shows that we feel better when we do nice things for people. So although you don't maybe have the bandwidth or the time or energy to volunteer, think about some random act of kindness, an email you can send to somebody. Have you written a note to your medical team to thank them for their care? Have you written a note to your primary care doctor for calling you? Just those little things have been shown to mean so much to people. Little acts of gratitude, random acts of kindness really mean things to people, more than you can expect, And knowing that can actually nurture your soul and form these new bonds and give you a sense that you have purpose and that you matter. Of course, you do without doing anything, but these are tangible things you can do. Other things you can do are to connect with a support group. We have videos on how to find a support group. We do recommend professionally led support groups. This can help you be with people who are going through the same thing, not the same story, but some of the same experiences. If you find that you are highly sensitive and tend to empathize with people overly, so that when you leave a support group, you're leaving with not your own story, but everybody else's, you may want to take a break and do some one-on-one connecting with people. Maybe people you've met in the support group, getting a cup of tea or coffee with one of those people and not getting overwhelmed might be more your style. You may have a community group or a religious organization that you want to reconnect with, a church or a synagogue or a mosque. Reconnecting with people in a sacred space can be really helpful. And if it's been a while since you've been to a house of worship, consider reaching out and letting somebody there know what's been going on with you. There are a lot of people in houses of worship who know how to soothe people who are feeling lonely. There are other sacred spaces that have nothing to do with religion. You might find that being in a nature setting, being in a botanical garden or a greenhouse is helpful, and finding other people who like the same things, people who like to go on walks. Check in with Meetup. These are groups all over the country where you can find people with similar interests to you, whether it's a nature walk or learning about something new. I would just encourage you to get as creative as you can. And if you do have a friend, you can brainstorm ways to have social connections. These don't have to be deep, all night conversations over popcorn. They can be even just what we call weak connections, where people recognize you and at the coffee shop, say the regular people you see there regularly. Those weak ties actually are protective against loneliness as well. I hope I've given you some ideas. If you have ideas of your own, drop them in the comments below. Share them with the Yerbba community. And as always, you can go to yerbba.com to get your personalized report. If this video has been helpful, click like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.